But you know what? I'm gonna be blunt with y'all. It's time to piss off some Goku stans.
Hey all my guys and gals.
It's Duplo's Kids, and I'm back with yet another video for all of you. Today's video is going to be controversial! Today we're going to be reviewing the most unfair fight edits I have ever found on TikTok. Basically, there's edits on TikTok that pin two characters against each other in a fight and with music in the background, normally. And today we're going to be looking at the most unfair fights that I have ever seen. Like, some of these are reasonably unfair, and some of them, oh, people are gonna argue about it in the comments. Oh, I cannot wait to read them all.
And my Ben 10 ranking videos are already super controversial, and this is... oh god, it's gonna be so much worse!
And if you like my content, just do what every other YouTuber says to do on their video. Just do that. I'm not gonna repeat what thousands of people on YouTube have already said. Finally, if there is a character in this video that you like and I bash him like crazy, just know, a quarter of the characters in this video I like.
This video is not based on personal bias, it's based on what I've actually seen these characters do.
And the way we're going to be scaling them is based on the picture or the video of the character that edit uses. So say if there were Batman and Superman, I can't just say Batman would win because of the Hellbat suit, unless it showed specifically the Hellbat suit. But with all that being said, let's get into the fights and all the controversy that comes with it. This first battle, I found this edit of a battle that actually happened on another YouTube channel called Death Battle. If you somehow don't know what Death Battle is, it's about two guys named Wiz and Boomstick that measure two characters from pop culture's weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Now, sometimes they get it right, but there are times when they get it wrong. And this matchup is most definitely one of the times where they got it wrong, where they got it so wrong. Alright, so let's get it started. In the blue corner, we have the master of will and jets. The man who takes the imagination meme from SpongeBob to a whole new level. The one of many, Hal Jordan's Green Lantern from DC Comics. And in the other corner, we have the wielder of the most powerful weapon in the universe. The teenager that's quite literally out of this world. One of the most broken characters in fiction, Ben Tennyson. From, well, Ben 10. If you haven't been keeping up to date, I have been all over Ben Tennyson. I know all of his powers, I know all of his aliens' powers. And also I know how the lantern rings work. But in this case, Ben would win this so easily. He wouldn't have to pull out a single one of his strongest aliens. To win this fight without killing Hal, there's 3 separate ways. 1, Fast Track, 2, Jet Ray, and 3, Accelerate. Any of those aliens could end this fight in a second.
For one main reason.
Yes, if you take off Ben's watch, he's just a normal kid. Or teenager. But at the same time, if you take off Hal's ring, he's just a normal dude as well.
But here's the main difference between the two. If you try and take Ben's watch off without his consent, it will physically throw you off of it. Also, the watch can quite literally react faster than light.
Because of the fact Ben was about to get absolutely obliterated by an explosion the equivalent of the Big Bang, and just as the explosion went off, the watch reacted fast enough to turn him into the alien he needed to contain the Big Bang. So say if Hal was to try and cut off Ben's arm, which is what they did in Death Battle, by the way,
and for some reason they thought that would work,
the watch would quite literally have the reaction time to turn him into the alien he needed in that situation, which would most likely either be Diamond Head or Swampfire. While Hal doesn't have a safeguard like that on his ring. Literally, there's a clip of Batman just casually taking off his ring with no problems. So literally all Ben has to do to end this fight is turn into one of his faster aliens and take the ring off. Then it's over. But if we were to say that they were to actually fight and Ben had an intent to kill him, he could easily do it. Because we're giving each of these characters the best chance they have at beating each other. Which means this Ben will have master control. Which means he can switch between any alien he wants with no cooldowns. But even if we don't give him that, he could still whoop Hal's ass. Again, without using any of his strongest aliens, he can whoop Hal's ass. Mainly because of the fact that Green Lantern's weakness is the color yellow. His weakness is quite literally a f***ing color. And let's just say, Ben has options when it comes to yellow aliens.
But you know what? For the sake of this, because of the death battle, we'll say Ben actually had the instinct to turn into Alien X. how would that fight go? I'm just gonna say this flat out. Hal is losing. Hard. There is quite literally nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, Hal can do to stop Alien X.
But for Hal's sake, we'll say two separate scenarios. One, Ben doesn't have control over Alien X, and two, Ben has full control over Alien X. So for the sake of this, we're gonna say they're fighting over something serious, and they both want to kill each other. If Ben has full control over Alien X, it's over in one move. What move, you ask? Any move. Literally anything.
To give you an example of how powerful Alien X is, just to show you one of his weakest feats, with just one hand movement, he was able to stop an entire flood.
He just reversed a flood.
Just by putting his hand in a circle and pressing.
And plus, he does way crazier stuff than this. But you're probably thinking, oh, he couldn't win in a physical fist-to-fist fight, right?
Wrong.
Alien X is able to throw them hands really good. He was able to fight a gladiatorial version of a celestial sapien, which is what Alien X is. And is actually the most challenged Alien X has ever been. Any other time Ben pulls out Alien X and everything was completely out of control, the minute this alien shows up, everything's in Ben's control. Instantly. But you're probably thinking, oh, there's no way he's durable enough to survive Green Lantern's attacks, right? Wrong again! He quite literally survived an entire universe being destroyed around him, and then he just casually recreated it like it was nothing.
Ben quite literally in this form would not even have to try.
But like I said, for a benefit of the doubt, what happens if Alien X is not under Ben's full control? It's either A, going to be a stalemate, or B, Ben's gonna win and get control of Alien X. Like I said before, there is quite literally nothing Hal can do against Alien X. And Alien X can end this fight anytime he wants. The victor of this fight is Ben Tennyson. If it's Ben using his normal aliens, mid-low diff. If it's Ben using Alien X, not even trying to negative diff. This next edit was based on an actual fight in an actual movie. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because they did get it right in the movie of who won. But I want to explain the reason why that character won. In the blue corner, we have the biggest ape ever made on film. The ape with a big brain and an even bigger axe. The one and only Giga Monkey. Legendary Pictures Kong. And in the red corner, we got the radioactive Giga Lizard, the quite literal king of the monsters.
Give it up for
Legendary Pictures Godzilla. I would ask, who in their right mind wouldn't pick the radioactive Giga Lizard over the monkey? But a lot of people really thought that Kong was gonna pull out on top. Let's just say Kong didn't pull out on top. If anything, it's probably the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen a monster do. This man Godzilla was really making Kong his bitch. And I'm going to explain why. Let's start with the obvious fact first. One can shoot a radioactive laser beam and the other one can't. And just to jog people's memory, in that movie, Godzilla was able to drill to the center of the Earth with his atomic ray. Which isn't easy to do at all. Also, the axe that's supposed to be, the main weapon to fight off Godzilla, he took it to the leg and it did basically nothing. He just ripped that out of his leg and chucked it. Also, another thing I get people seeing thrown around is that Kong's smarter. Godzilla's smart too, guys. Actually, Godzilla should technically be smarter than Kong because he has two brains. Also, one other thing. Up to that point, Kong has only fought skullcrawlers, which are literal ants compared to Godzilla. At this point, Godzilla has fought the Muto, which are literally a parasite to his species, and King Ghidorah, a giant golden space dragon. And he defeated him once before, and then he defeated him again. And every monster that was called to King Ghidorah to help him take over the Earth instantly bowed to Godzilla the minute he was standing over King Ghidorah's corpse. And I don't think I have to explain anymore of why Godzilla easily won this fight. Godzilla wins. Low mid diff. This next fight isn't even a fight, dude. This fight is so unfair that I don't even consider it a fight. This is a slaughter. In the blue corner, we have the emo girl that could. A girl that's been around since 1938, but only recently has blown up in popularity. Wednesday, from the Addams Family, and of course, well, Wednesday. And in the red corner, we have the hero, Gone Evil. A man that helped quite literally purge an entire religion. The only half-man, half-robot Sith Lord, Darth Vader from Star Wars.
And here's an example of how this fight's most likely gonna end up.
Need I explain why this is such an unfair fight? Wednesday's only power is future vision and being able to gaze into the past as well. Other than that, she's just a normal girl. Vader has the power to manipulate the Force, which is a living energy all around us. And all I even have to talk about his more insane feats because it's fucking Wednesday. She can't fight him hand to hand because, the lightsaber, which he is a master with, Vader was able to cut down one of his Inquisitors with one blow of his lightsaber. What the hell do you think he's gonna do to Wednesday? And range definitely isn't an option because she has no ranged options, first off, and second off, Vader can just force choke her. Vader quite literally does not have to put a single bit of effort into this fight at all. A quote-unquote fight with Wednesday wouldn't even be a warm-up for Vader. Vader wins. Neg diff. This next fight's a little more fair, but not by much. Not by much at all. In the blue corner, we have the girl with the telepathy. She's fighting a weird monster thing. Introducing 11 from Stranger Things. And in the red corner, yet again, we have the Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader from Star Wars. This fight's a little more even because 11 has telepathy, but again, it's Darth Vader. First off, to make it clear, 11 has telepathy, which means she lifts things with her mind. And Vader uses the Force, which is an energy that surrounds all things. One of 11's most impressive feats is when she took down a helicopter. But it did take a good amount of her effort to take the chopper down. While Vader took down a spacecraft that honestly could make that chopper look like a tiny little toy, he took this ship down one-handed while it was trying to blast off into space, which is not easy to do, landed it, and then tore it apart like it was a piece of tinfoil. And then immediately afterwards got into a fight with one of his Inquisitors, which is also trained into the Force, and she had a double-bladed lightsaber that can spin, and he washed her without even pulling out his own lightsaber. And here's the thing. That's not even Vader's craziest feat! He has done way crazier things! When it comes to telepathy versus the Force wins. And again, 11 wouldn't win in a close range fight because, lightsaber. It's a more fair fight than Wednesday versus Vader, but it's still not even a warm-up for Vader. Vader wins, again. Neglo diff. Finally, a fight that actually might take some effort from this character. In the blue corner, we have the not-so-nice version of one of DC's most popular superheroes. The man that has a very strange obsession with breast milk. I give you Homelander from The Boys. And coming back for round 3, everyone's favorite heavy-breathing machine, Darth Vader from Star Wars. I mean, Homelander's gonna stand way more of a chance than 11 or Wednesday would against Vader, but honestly, depending on the route Vader takes in this fight, it could be a long fight or a short one. And we can finally talk about his lightsaber skills because Homelander might be able to actually take the lightsaber. And when I say take the lightsaber, I mean take a blow from it. You see, a lightsaber isn't your average energy-based weapon. You see, in order for the lightsaber to have an energy-based blade, you need a kyber crystal. What's a kyber crystal, you ask? A kyber crystal is a special crystal that channels the energy of the Force user's Force abilities. Basically, that means the lightsaber is tied to your emotions. And you see, getting a red lightsaber isn't achieved by just getting a red kyber crystal. No, you have to bleed a normal kyber crystal. What does that mean? Well, you basically use the dark side of the Force, which is fueled by hate and anger, to bleed the crystal, aka you just pump a whole bunch of anger and hate into the crystal. And then the crystal gets broken and becomes red. But other than its weird origin, a lightsaber works like any other energy-based sword. It can cut through basically anything. What the only thing the lightsaber wasn't able to cut through was a Zillo Beast's scales, which is a giant kaiju in the Star Wars universe. Okay, what about Homelander's durability? Can it withstand the lightsaber? Yeah, for a while. Homelander's most impressive durability feat is in the comics when he gets blown up by a literal nuclear bomb and he walks out without even a scratch. And normally that would be impressive, if it wasn't for the fact that the lightsabers are made out of kyber crystals. And just for reference, you know the Death Star, the planet-destroying moon base? Yeah, the laser's powered by a giant kyber crystal. So a giant kyber crystal is strong enough to destroy an entire planet with one shot. And a lightsaber is basically a smaller version of that. And just for reference, to blow up an entire planet would take 225 million gigajoules of energy to do it.
Which that's a lot.
So Homelander might be able to survive 1 or 2 strikes from his lightsaber, but eventually it's going to break his skin and cut him up like Swiss cheese. But if Vader decides to use the Force, oh, this fight's gonna be over in a couple of seconds. All Vader has to do to win this fight is Force choke Homelander, which is extremely easy for Vader because he's very good at the Force. It would take a decent amount of Vader's effort to choke Homelander, but not by much. And Homelander has 2 long-range abilities, which is his Sonic Scream and of course his Laser Vision. His Sonic Scream's gonna be completely useless when he's being Force choked because you can't exactly scream when you're being choked. So you would think his Laser Vision would be his best bet, because he can kinda move your head around when you're being Force choked. But if anything, that would be Homelander's greatest mistake. Force users are able to predict their enemies' moves before they can even make it. For an example, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, when Reva tried to attack Vader, Vader was able to predict her movements enough to where he was quite literally able to catch her lightsaber with the Force. So to be honest, the minute Homelander tries to use his laser vision, Vader's just gonna pull out his lightsaber and block it. And I think anyone with a brain knows that lightsabers can block lasers. So if anything, when Homelander uses his heat vision, he'll just block it with his lightsaber and direct it back towards Homelander, cutting him up with his own laser vision. This fight's definitely a lot more fair than the last two, because fighting Homelander would not only just be a warm-up but an actual fight, but Vader is still the stronger one here. Again, Vader wins. If he's not using the Force, mid-high diff. If Vader's using the Force, low mid diff. If you thought Vader vs. Wednesday was unfair, you are not ready for this one. In the blue corner, we have a kid that had no powers and now has the strongest power in his universe. The broccoli kid that could. The one and only Izuku Midoriya, aka Deku from My Hero Academia. And in the red corner, coming back for round 2, Legendary Pictures Godzilla. Oh god! The fact that somebody would do this to Deku is unbelievable. But what makes it worse is that the original edit this fight is from, they really think Deku wins this fight! I already went in a little bit of how powerful Godzilla is. But we don't even have to get into powers because one's just a superpowered teenager, and the other one is 355 feet tall, 108 meters long, and weighs approximately 164,000 tons! I think it's pretty obvious who wins this fight. Midoriya wouldn't even be the size of Godzilla's toenail. Midoriya would have a better chance taking down Kong, and I already explained how Godzilla absolutely destroys Kong. Godzilla only needs to do one thing to win this fight, and that's called Big Boy Step. All Godzilla has to do is fucking step on him, or knock down a building on top of him. And that's assuming Godzilla's even paying attention to Midoriya. Godzilla could be casually destroying Tokyo and accidentally step on Midoriya. Or crush him. Midoriya, even the manga version, doesn't even stand a chance against Godzilla. He'd be lucky to tickle him. I just want to know, who in their right mind actually thinks Deku's gonna beat Godzilla? Who? This is easily by far the second most unfair fight in this entire video. This isn't even a fight. It's not even a slaughter. It's just an average day for Godzilla. Obviously Godzilla wins. Not even trying difficulty. Well, if DC fans weren't pissed off with what I did with Green Lantern, they're really not gonna like what happens next. In the blue corner, we have the psychiatrist gone insane. The woman that can't decide whether she's good or evil. I give you Harley Quinn from the DCEU specifically. And in the red corner, we have the Sorcerer Supreme, the Doctor of the Mystic Arts, Dr. Stephen Strange from the MCU specifically. In the Pacific video I got this fight from, it said DCEU versus MCU, which basically means the movie versions of these characters. But even if it was the comic version of Harley Quinn, she loses this. I don't even fully think I need to explain why. One's a psychotic clown that carries around a mallet, and the other one literally uses magic! And since we're giving each of these characters the best possible chance at winning, Doctor Strange can quite literally control time. And all she has is guns, a baseball bat, and a hammer. Need I go into further detail of why Harley loses this? Doctor Strange wins. Low diff. Man, I hate how dirty I'm doing this character in this video. In the blue corner, returning for his second ass beating in one vid, one of the characters that got it the worst this video, I'm sorry, Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia. And in the red corner, we got the man that got bit and didn't die. Of course, he's living on the edge, finding crimes and spinning webs. Your friendly neighborhood, Spider-Man from Marvel Studios. And unfortunately for poor Deku in this fight, it's comic Spider-Man versus manga Deku. Manga Deku's strong, but he's not going to be able to even touch comic Spider-Man. And I know the people that don't know Spider-Man that well are going to be like, what? He gets taken out by people like Venom and Rhino. How is he tough? You see, Spider-Man is usually holding back. Like, almost every fight, he's holding back. Like, say with Carnage and Venom, even those guys he holds back with. And just to gauge you of how strong Peter Parker is, he lifted a tank once. Like, just picked up a tank and smashed it. With his bare hands. No webs, just barehanded, grabbed the tank, picked it up, and smashed it. Simple as that. Also, you know the train scene from Spider-Man 2? Yeah, in the comics, he literally lifted a train. Like, full on lifted a train. Also, he stopped the plane from crashing by lifting it up. And it's not just any plane, it's one of those national airliners that holds, like, hundreds of people in it. And I don't think I need to explain how broken the spider sense is. I am not joking when I say that Peter Parker could most likely lay out all of his villains with one punch, and he could come out of it with not even a scratch on his suit. And yes, Deku is strong and fast, but he's not going to outdo Spider-Man's spider sense. There is no way. Peter would have a little difficulty laying out Deku, but he could lay out Deku if he really wanted to. But you know, because this video is just about completely dogging characters, I'm going to talk about what if Peter had the symbiote suit. And for this sake, we're going to say Peter wants to kill Deku. And if Peter wants to kill Deku with the symbiote suit, Deku's not just going to be dead, he's going to be disrespected in every way physically possible. And there is one comic story that confirms this for me. And while yes, this character is technically weaker than Deku, but Peter absolutely disrespects this man so bad, I think that he could do the same to Deku. So, we all know that Peter with the symbiote is a lot more aggressive, right? Well, this story takes that entire idea and cranks it to 11. So before we talk about this, we gotta talk about Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. So if you don't know, Kingpin is a super strong dude. And just to give you a gauge of how strong Kingpin is, here's a couple of my favorite feats from him. So he's almost taken down Captain America by tackling him. And by the way, I think we all know how strong Cap is. He pushed Peter, which we just covered how strong Peter is, through a stone wall. Oh yeah, also he ripped a metal staircase out of the ground and out of the roof and started using it as a baseball bat against Spider-Man. And he's trained himself in sumo wrestling. Now for the story. So, Kingpin hired a hitman to kill Peter Parker, but because of the spider sense he was able to save himself and MJ. But Aunt May wasn't so lucky and she got hit and had to be rushed to the hospital. And at this time, he had the symbiote suit. So Peter pulled up in the symbiote suit, and this is Kingpin before they scrapped. This is Kingpin after. If you can't tell, Peter beat this man Kingpin to a bloody pulp. And Peter didn't have a scratch on him. And the only reason why Peter didn't kill Kingpin in that moment isn't because of like morals or anything like that, no. He thought he embarrassed that man so bad that everyone in that room was going to spread the word that Peter beat his ass, that he just didn't even see that it was worth killing him. And here's the thing. Peter wasn't even going to kill Kingpin in like a merciful way, like one punch him out or anything like that. No. Peter was going to fill his lungs full of wet fluid and let him suffocate to death. If Peter truly wanted to kill Deku with the symbiote suit, Deku would die. No matter what. Base Peter is strong, but symbiote suit Peter Parker is something else. He's a different breed. This fight is so unbelievably one-sided, it's not even funny. Spider-Man wins. Without symbiote suit, low mid diff. With symbiote suit, negative diff. This next fight, I actually don't know. This one just got sprung on me, so might as well just throw it in. In the blue corner, we have the girl who's fought off hordes of zombies. One of the most iconic female gaming characters, Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. And in the red corner, we have... Oh. Oh no. Hold on, just give me a moment.
Terry, what the is this?
This is worse than Godzilla vs. Deku! What is wrong with you? I knew there was gonna be unfair fights in this video, but come on! Really? Really, dude? Man, this just ain't right. Alright, let's introduce this absolute menace to society. In the red corner, we have the Marine gone homicidal, a man so feared that even demons don't fuck with him. One of the main reasons why the first-person shooter genre even exists, the Doomslayer from Doom. Must I go into detail of how Doomslayer, who is quite literally ran through the armies of hell, makes Jill, a normal human being, his bitch? There is no galaxy, no universe within the multiverse where Doomslayer loses this fight. And just for reference, this girl has trouble with basic zombies, while Doomslayer quite literally grabs zombies and rips them in half with his bare hands. He rips so many demons apart with his bare hands. And another thing is, look at their arsenals. She uses a normal assault rifle that any soldier would use, while this man quite literally uses an assault rifle that could be strapped on a mech suit. And that's not even talking about his most powerful weapons like the Crucible Blade that literally cuts demons up like Swiss cheese, or the BFG that quite literally stands for Big F***ing Gun! And plus, the BFG he wields is the power source for a bigger BFG that's mounted to a ship that quite literally blew a hole into the center of Mars! What the hell is she gonna do against a weapon that could quite literally blow a hole into the center of a planet? And that's not even covering the rest of his arsenal. He doesn't even have to use his most powerful weapons. He could use the pistol from Doom 2016 and kill her. Doomslayer could quite literally be reading a fucking book. She comes up and puts a gun to his head, and he pulls out any one of his weapons and just obliterates her instantly. This is even more disrespectful than Deku versus Godzilla. Obviously, Doomslayer wins. Actually, no effort difficulty. This fight's so unfair that it genuinely makes a new difficulty. Normally, I wait to introduce the character, but you know what? I'm gonna be blunt with y'all. It's time to piss off some Goku stans. In the blue corner, we have the Monkey Superman, one of the strongest characters in anime, a man who has generated one of the most toxic fan bases in the entire world, Son Goku from Dragon Ball. And in the red corner, we have the quite literal Spirit of Vengeance, one of the most broken characters in all of fiction, a creature that if you mess with him, you are surely dead. I give you Ghost Rider from Marvel Studios. The video where I got this fight, it was comic Ghost Rider versus manga Goku. And in the video they said Goku won. That is very wrong. And I'm sorry Goku stands, but Goku stands no chance against Ghost Rider. Not even a little bit of a chance. And for the Goku stands, I'll explain thoroughly of why Ghost Rider beats Goku. First off, even though I shouldn't have to make this obvious, there is no plot armor and especially no Dragon Balls. This is a fight between Goku and Ghost Rider. Dragon Balls are not involved. So no outside sources bringing Goku back from the dead to fight Ghost Rider again. No. But for the benefit of the doubt, because he's done this before, I'll say he can exit heaven and then fight Ghost Rider again. So there will be 2 rounds between Ghost Rider and Goku. But surprisingly, Goku does have a couple advantages in this fight, specifically range and speed and agility. As far as I know currently, the strongest form Goku has is Mastered Ultra Instinct, which basically hones his skills to the point where he's really good at dodging things. And also, Dragon Ball characters are just genuinely known for being incredibly fast. faster than the normal eye can track, so there's that. And, you know, Dragon Ball is also known for its ki blasts, and, well, Goku has quite a few. And while, yes, Ghost Rider's Chain Whip does have a good amount of range, and he does have Fire Breath, it's not really like a ki blast or anything. It doesn't have as many ranged possibilities. But Ghost Rider's main advantage in this fight is his durability. You see, Ghost Riders work differently than any other superhero. Even though there are multiple forms of Ghost Rider, unless they are from another universe, they are all still the same spirit of vengeance, with the only difference being is the host. There are some Ghost Riders that have taken some serious punishment, with two of the craziest being from the Hulk. One of these feats, the Hulk punched Ghost Rider, and I joke you not, this motherfucker Ghost Rider didn't even goddamn flinch. He had to put extra force just to move him. And yeah, there was a Hulk that knocked him down, but it was World Breaker Hulk. You know, the same Hulk that quite literally can destroy an entire planet. And yes, while he didn't hit him with that much force, he still hit him extremely hard. And this man was out for a couple minutes or seconds or so, and this man immediately was ready to rumble again. And even if, and that's a big if, Goku was able to damage Ghost Rider enough to actually physically wound him, Ghost Rider has a healing factor that puts Deadpool's to shame. It's quite literally seconds. And it's been stated by Doctor Strange, aka Sorcerer Supreme, that Ghost Rider's power is basically infinite. And the only thing holding him back is his host. And since I'm giving both characters the best chance possible, Goku has a limit. While if the host of the Spirit of Vengeance lets the Spirit of Vengeance do whatever he wants, his power is quite literally infinite. And plus, the only person that can genuinely contest with Ghost Rider's power is Galactus, Eater of Worlds. But quite literally nobody stands a chance against him. There's only like 2 or 3 characters I'm pretty sure that Ghost Rider could actually have a fair fight against. And all of them clap Goku. And I'm not saying Goku doesn't have any insane feats. He does. But Ghost Rider quite literally is just a different breed. This man cut a building in half with his chains. He literally became an atomic-sized explosion. By the way, this still takes place in the fight with World Breaker Hulk. And eventually World Breaker Hulk just gave up and decided not to smash him. That's how you know you're powerful, when Hulk doesn't think he can smash you. But what proves this even more to me is that there's a man that could defeat Goku that Ghost Rider easily defeated. Thor. Thor could take down Goku, and Ghost Rider easily took down Thor. Had that motherfucker on his knees. The first fight's going to be difficult for Ghost Rider, but it's not going to be extremely hard. But when Goku comes back with a halo, it's going to be a little more difficult. Because you see, Saiyans have this innate ability that after a fight they get stronger, more durable, harder to kill. But Ghost Rider would still be able to win that fight. But you see, Ghost Rider has an ability that I haven't talked about yet. An ability that could kill Goku so dead that there will quite literally be no afterlife for him. Of course, I'm talking about the Penance Stare. The Penance Stare works like this. This move does 2 things. First off, makes you feel all the pain you've inflicted on others. And 2, burns your soul from the inside and kills you like that. It literally burns your soul. And what do you need to get into the afterlife again? Oh yeah, a soul! So that means if Ghost Rider uses the Penance Stare on Goku, no afterlife. And if you don't think it would work on Goku, it worked on Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is easily way stronger than Goku. And it killed him. Easily! Since Ghost Rider is going to be trying to kill Goku, if Goku even messes up by a smidget, he is going to be 6 feet under. And come on, Goku has messed up before. So, all I have to say is, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this, Ghost Rider wins. Without using Penance Stare, mid-hard diff. With using Penance Stare, low-mid diff. That's it. That's all of the fights. I know what the comments are gonna look like already. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys disagreed with any of the outcomes of the fights, let me know in the comments below. It's not that you're gonna be able to change my mind, but I just love reading comments, even if they are hateful. If you guys think you have a fight that's super unfair, let me know in the comments. I might cover it next time. But with all that being said, I'll catch you all in the next video. Goodbye! Like the video, and I'll cover Goku vs. Saitama. I'm gonna regret saying that.
I can't find him. I can't find him.
I will fight Texas and kill him.
I can't find him. I can't find him.
He made them.
I can't find him.
Leave
leave them alone.
I swear to... No, don't.